This is round 3 of the progressive seal that we had at Lucky Labs Brewery in Portland, Oregon in February 2026 for a charity event. The top of the screen is a local player I've had the pleasure of playing a couple times. I think their name's Stacy. And at the bottom of the screen, I am playing Savior again. So turn 1 for me, Chapel, I can't make use of it, I just pass. Turn 1 for the Necro, playing a Blessed Village, and creating that skeleton token, passing turn. Turn 2, Fields of Fixus into the center and just passing turn. So that will turn off any site they play to the center if they choose to meet me in the center. I think he's thinking about that. He's playing a Bloom. Obviously doesn't need to make use of the ability on that thing. So that's fine. 2 mana for an Entombed under it, and then moving his skeleton up. Beginning my turn here, and now I'm looking at skeleton marching towards me. And they're going to see a 3rd site here. Probably playing it up. There it goes. Dark Alley. Dark Alley. 2 mana for a Bats. Bats enter Dark Alley, gain stealth from the site, and then 1 mana to ward it with the Savior ability. Passing turn. So Stacy gonna go ahead and tap for another site. I think he's just deciding on location. He's gonna choose to play on the opposite side of the board there. Croaking Swamp. 3 mana in his mana pool, and I think he's declining to take advantage of the Genesis. So he must want to make use of that mana for something else this turn. He's going to move the Entombed up to the surface. 3 mana in his mana pool. 3 mana for a Harvest Festival. So he has the threshold requirement for it, and he's going to get those 2 townsfolk. So the Sarava and then the Eltham townsfolk. Eltham is the token, just it's a flipped over card, and we didn't have it at the table at the time. The way that limited rules work is that if a card specifies that you pull something like by name from your collection, then you just get that. So you can use the token for free even if you didn't pull it out of your sealed pool, or you can just kind of use a stand-in token as needed, which is what we did. I'm attacking with the Bats to kill one of the townsfolk. I needed to get start getting some of his things off of the board there. Playing Hillside Chapel, and then taking advantage of the Genesis on the Bat to give it another ward again. 3 remaining mana in my mana pool for a Screamer. The Screamer will push away the Entombed, and I wanted to buy myself another turn to keep that to force him to bring it up. To spend movement to bring it back up again. And that was what I could do with that turn, so I'm passing it back. So Stacy is going to start his turn with 3 mana in his mana pool. He's lamenting. He drew a spell for turn, and he meant to draw a site, so he went ahead and just tapped and drew a site. Paying 3 to Bury Alive just to remove the Screamer, and then pushing in 3 points of damage. 3 points of damage from the Sarova townsfolk and his skeleton token, moving the entombed up, and then passing turn. So not enough mana that turn to create another skeleton token. He needed all 3 for the berry. Passing turn back to me. It's like I drew a spell for turn. So I only have the bat on the board right now, but the bat also has a ward on it again, so I could fly the bat into that second townsfolk just to get the thing off the board. Getting a lot of value out of the bat just with the wards. I'd also heal 2 points, go back up to 19. I want to say, yeah. Tapping my avatar to draw a sight. 4 mana in my mana pool still. Uh, 2 mana for a Gift of the Wolf onto the bat, and then using the bat to attack the Entombed. So getting to draw the card off of Gift of the Wolf, and then using that to remove the greater threat on the board, which was that the 3-powered Entombed, which I think was a decent choice on my part. You always want, like, I mean, like the dream with Gift of the Wolf is like you get to kill something of theirs for essentially free, and your thing still gets to live, and you get to draw a card. So I got to tick all those boxes. The Vampire Bats lose ward, that's fine. The remaining 2 mana for a Gossamer Ghost, and I don't have the extra mana to ward it, but it does come in stealthed as part of its ability. So I'm feeling a little bit better about the board state right now. I felt like we've been able to keep up with the trades necessary, and I haven't been out attritioned by the Necromancer yet. I haven't felt the oppressive weight of those skeletons every turn yet. It's 3 points of damage in with the attacks from townsfolk and the skeleton. So he's playing Weathered Trunks onto his site with the bats on it, so 4 power minion coming into play. So 4 power can be difficult to deal with. Just the only thing I have on the board right now are these 2s. Nothing is warded at the moment, but we'll see kind of what I can bring out in a response here. Tapping to play a site, Den of Evil. That will give me 5 points of mana for the turn. Choosing to just attack the skeleton to remove a piece off of the board, gain 2 life. Just moving the Gossamer Ghost, so not attacking the site, just getting it into position. 4 mana for Monks of Kosaba, and 1 to ward it. So that was my turn, passing back. So the monks, I think, were my solution to the monks were my solution to, I guess, trying to deal with the Weathered Trunks. I think Stacy accidentally untapped my Vampire Bats, so we're just fixing that really quick. And then he's gonna take his turn. Looks like he has an Open Grave in his hand, so you play that out, bring his mana up to 5, and then you have the option to create up to 2 skeletons this turn if he wants, or he could use the mana for something else. If he needed all 5 mana for something else, he could do that instead. but he's like, I think he's just thinking about like where he wants to place the site. Yeah, he's gonna place it back there. Looking at his hand, just taking a peek in there, like he has a gift of the wolf, which would be pretty good. And I think what he ends up doing here is making a favorable trade, using his townsfolk to remove the ward on my monks. Yeah, he's opting not to create the token. Yeah, and attacking with the townsfolk to remove that ward. And then he's going to gift to the wolf. So give his Weather Trunks +2, drawing a card, and then attacking in and killing the monks. So decent play for Stacy. He spent 2 mana. He's got 3 left for the turn. And what does he have in his hand? 3 for an intrepid hero. And then passing turn back to me. So intrepid hero, 3 power, lethal to evil. And still have that weathered trunks that I have to deal with. 5 mana in my mana pool at the moment. Gossamer Ghost still has stealth. It's not really in a good position to do anything but attack the site. One of those sites though. I'm tapping for Spore Spout. That'll take me to 6 mana. 2 for Vampire Bats onto his home site. Onto his home site. 3 for a search party and 1 to ward the search party. So I don't ward the Vampire Bats. Instead, I ward the search party that comes out this turn. Just attacking with the Gossamer Ghost to get 2 points of damage in, and I think moving the Vampire Bats, not attacking, to get a different position and passing turn. So I think ideally I'm thinking to try to dissuade him from doing anything with the intrepid hero for a turn here, with the search party in play with a ward, just because he can't attack into my site now. I would just block with the warded search party, and then he'd lose his piece, and my piece would just lose a ward. He's playing a stream, I think that takes him up to 6 mana. He still has the weathered trunk. He still has the weathered trunks in play. So that's gonna force 4 points of damage in, I think. A good play from Stacy, the Mesmer Demon, to pull in my Gossamer Ghost, and then attacking it with the weathered trunks onto a site that I cannot get to defend with the search party. So good positional play from Stacy there, and then attacking in with the weathered trunks for 4 points of damage onto my site, and playing a Moss Troll. Yeah, Moss Troll for his last 3 points of mana. So some really good plays there. At this point though, it's like I have nothing better to do with the search party, so I might as well attack in for 3. He is choosing not to defend with the Mesmer Demon. He wants to keep that piece on the board. I'm attacking with the bats for 4 more points of damage in, flying them diagonally to a site that he cannot defend. playing an Earl of the Ivory Tower. The Earl is immune to all damage from ordinary cards and can't be targeted by ordinary cards, so it's a great blocker there against the Weathered Trunks, or I guess the Moss Troll. Like, it would just kill the Moss Troll and live if it were to defend something from that, and it would just take no damage as a blocker if it had to block the Weathered Trunks. So Stacy beginning his turn here. Unless he can get the ward off of the search party, it just becomes an annoying piece for him to deal with, because he has 2 3s in the center of the board there. He can't attack into them without making like really bad trades. So it's like he would lose both of his pieces if he wanted to attack to remove the search party. So he would lose 2 3-power minions, and then I would lose 1 3-power minion because of that ward. And at that point, it's just not worth it at all. But he's got limited moves here with them at the moment. He can't attack into Field of Fixus just because the Earl is there. I did move to defend the Trunks, so they have an opening to attack in to Field of Fixus now. And I think he's just going to go all in on his attack strategy. So 3 points of damage in from the Moss Troll, 3 in from the Mesmer Demon, 3 in from the Intrepid Hero. And I think I felt a little safer about that life swing, just because I still had the blocker with the Earl down there. I had 2 Vampire Bats on the board that could attack into his Necromancer for a 4-point life swing. Or I guess 8 points if they both go in and deal damage to his Necromancer. But he created a skeleton token. He had one left over to create a skeleton token. He got that Kraken cast submerged under his Algae Bloom site, I think. The Kraken, I think, just like a little too slow in this game. On my turn here, like I'm just gonna move away with the search party, and he still has to bring that thing up above ground. So I'm attacking in to kill the skeleton, but I'm gonna gain 2 points of life from that, and then I'm attacking the Necromancer with the other one, so I'm gonna gain 2 points of life from that and deal 2 points of damage to him. Search Party will attack for 3 points of damage that he can't defend. I think that takes him to 6. Takes him to 6 points. He's got a lot of stuff on my side of the board. I have a Penitent Knight here. A Penitent Knight is just going to gum up the works for him a little bit. And then I'm attacking with the Earl to remove his pieces. I need to kind of curb how much damage he can do on this next turn. I need him to not be able to take me to door, I think. I would much rather be able to put him onto door first here. And so I needed to limit the amount of damage that he was going to be able to pump in here next turn. So like minimum, there's going to be 4 points from the Weathered Trunks, and probably 3 more from one of his 3-power minions. But I have the Penitent Knight, and I can block one of the other ones. So I was doing the calculation at the time. I was like, that's like 7 points of damage he could get in, plus whatever else he's able to maybe play on this turn. Playing Troubled Town, getting the Sarava Townsfolk from collection, and then he's got the Kraken, but again, like I said, the Kraken's just a little too slow for this game, just because it had to be played submerged. It's going to take him a turn to bring it up and become relevant. It's gonna take him like 2 turns for it to become relevant. 1 to get up, and then another 1 to attack. And at that point, unless he has more blockers nearby, like I've already taken him to door at that point, I think. At least that was my game plan here. I had the bats on the back row there, the search party. I only had to do 6 points of damage to him on the next turn, threatening him to bring him to door. And again, like depending on what he plays, he might be able to play something to swing it here, but I counted on the last turn like kind of 7 points of damage that he could push through with what he had on the board at the time. So he's attacking with the Mesmer Demon. I'm opting not to block that just because if I'm going to kill one of those 3 powers, it's better for me to kill the Intrepid Hero because it's lethal to evil. And I do have some evil things in the deck, like the Earl, that would kind of, it would be a bummer if he made those trades. Yeah, so attacking for 7 points of damage, like I said, and getting that 7 points of damage in. Playing a Monk's 4 power on the board, and then Nosum Tusum. Passing turn. So he's got some blockers on board now. And I'm just trying to do some calculations in my head, because I believe you can't see it in frame in the video, but I think I have a toolbox in my hand, and I pulled a zap in my card pool. So if I get him at the door, I can just checkmate him with the toolbox and win on the subsequent turn. So at this point, I'm just trying to calculate like what I need to do to get 6 points of damage in on this turn. Without the blockers, I can get like a minimum of, I think 4 points on the back row there. Just he has the Nosum Tusum that can block, which is a problem. So I need that to not be the case. I have the Earl that I can get into, that I can attack in with, but he has the Monks to defend, and I have the Penitent Knight. So, like, I just have to be like careful about how I choose to attack. Because depending on what he blocks in, like I might only be able to push, say like 4 or 5 points of damage, and I have to be able to push all 6. The Intrepid Hero, I think it's on the field of Fixus. It's a little ambiguous where it's sitting right now, but it's on that field of Fixus. So I'm attacking the site. With the Penitent Knight, because I need to force a defend somewhere. And I think this is where maybe like Stacy, I think, could have bought himself another turn if he had defended with the Intrepid Hero instead and left the Monks available to defend. I don't think I would have been able to get him to door on this turn. But since he's choosing to defend with the Monks, with the Penitent Knight, then I can attack in for 3 points from the Earl, and then 4 points guaranteed from the Bats that takes him to the door. And that's all I needed. So playing out a Vesper Swarm, passing turn, he can take me to door on his turn, that's fine. And then on my next turn, I'm just going to be able to play a toolbox for a zap. And I don't think there's anything in Gothic card pool that can really deflect against that checkmate if they have like a Zap in their collection and they have a toolbox in hand and you're on door. I mean, there's only a handful of cards anyways in the entire card pool at this point. I think that could handle that. Like if they had an amulet of Ninian, that would prevent the damage. If they had like a Blasted Oak, but nobody plays Blasted Oak, that could potentially do it. There might be one or two like other things, but they're really niche and like nobody really plays them is the problem. So yeah, like in Constructed especially, like Zap ends up in your toolbox collection a lot, just because it's going to be a guaranteed checkmate to close out the game once you get into the door. So yeah, he's making his moves. He already got me the door, and now he's just repositioning to put himself into the best possible position to round out the game. And then passing turn, here it is. I got the toolbox, and then I don't think we show it on camera, but I do have the Zap in my collection, so we just call it a game and we end it there. That was a really fun game. I think I felt better about this game than most of the other games that I played and caught on camera here today. Just, like, I feel like I made the least amount of bad plays on camera. And also Stacy did really well too. Like Stacy has some really good plays there too. I just was able to eke out the win, get him the door first, and have that toolbox. So here's the third and final pack of Progressive Sealed for this event. We only played 4 rounds total, so you get three packs for your Progressive Sealed. The spread looks pretty good. I mean, like, there's a second Estranged Loner and another Vesper Swarm, which I was excited to get because I can replace. I think I was running a Dreadwing in there, and Vesper Swarm is just better. It's just like straight up better than the Dreadwing. So I did that replacement, and if we had had more time in between rounds, I think I would have taken another look at my water pool to see if it was worth kind of pivoting to water at that point with 2 Estranged Loners and whatever else I had in my pool to do that with. But I don't know. I feel like I still had like the majority of the meat in my kind of minion spread was still coming from those air cards, or like Renatus Trueblood, 2 Vesper Swarm, Screamer, Avenging Angel, and the Earl. So like there I think there was just too many air cards worth playing. So that was round 3, and we'll see you guys in round 4.